Hey folks, and welcome to week 8. So this is a week where everything's going to be due on Monday. There's not a second turn in, so just to give you that heads up right off the bat. So what do we need to do this week? Number one, watch the weekly video. Okay, you're doing that right now. Number two, listen to the Science versus Chiropractors podcast. That's down in this section and real research right here. Okay, um, so um, there's this is a podcast from Gimlet Media. It's called Science Versus, and they test the claims made by proponents of any number of theories. So this one happens to look at whether or not chiropractors and chiropractic actually does something useful for your health. Okay, depending on how you want to listen to this, you can go right here and it's embedded. You can listen to it while you're sitting at your computer. If you're a person who wants to carry a mobile phone around and your iPhone or your Android and listen to podcasts, you can actually go to their website and subscribe to it and download this particular one. Just make sure you do pick the chiropractors one. Okay, so I'll give you a link to their website as well. So if you want to listen to it when you're in the car or on headphones when you're doing something else, you can do that. Okay. Next, take part in the research discussions. This is another group discussion, and much like our last one, you will only be able to see your immediate partners. So don't worry about anyone else. Just go in, post, okay? And the explanation and discussion here is laid out. I do want you guys to have a conversation and to, comment on your peers' posts and whatnot. I don't have specific dates for that, so long as it all gets done by Monday. But obviously, if you're trying to come in and write your post and respond at the last minute on Monday, you're not doing a whole lot to help conversation. Okay? Next, read the 2 essays in the reading sections and write annotations of them. This reading and this reading, take a look at both of those. There's an MLA citation that'll help you out for your annotations, and then a Dropbox for those. Okay? Both of those are related to essay 3. So, we're going to get into the essay 3 assignment here. Go ahead and head in. So there's a little bit of background here, and this is sort of a question of identifying the factual accuracy of viral news. Okay, so I want you to take a viral news story and start looking at the factual accuracy of it. Okay, so we need to find a viral news story first. That's job one, and then we'll start the research process beginning next week. So don't worry about the research this week. What I want you to do is to find an article that might work for this, okay? So don't pick something from CBS or CNN or Fox News, because generally they're all relatively factually accurate, unless you're really convinced it's wrong. If you're really convinced it's wrong, you can choose it and sort of justify why you want to look at it. But look at a website that's got acknowledges its political bias, or even go look at something that gets shared around on Facebook, okay? A news story that kind of flies around Facebook, or even a graphic that flies around Facebook, might be something that would work for this, okay? So I'll give you some sample websites here that you can look at, but you've got plenty of other options as well. Okay, once you have read over the assignment, and again, this is for an essay that's actually at the end of the day due in about 4 weeks, okay? So this is the entire unit will focus on this essay. Take a look at the sample proposal. There's a proposal template here. It still says essay 2. You can just update that to essay 3. I just wanted to use the same file. Okay, and I'll actually take a quick look at the sample I give you. So this, what's the question you're trying to answer? So is the basic idea behind this meme. So like when it comes to viral news stories, this image got shared around Facebook a lot, just happened after the school shooting in Parkland, Florida, a couple weeks ago. And I saw this pop up a bunch of times on Facebook, and I thought, well, this is interesting. That seems to be a pretty bold claim. So this is even the sort of viral news that you can look at, so long as it's something you can look at that can't be answered simply by going to Snopes. If you go to Snopes and they can give you a paragraph and explain that it's inaccurate, probably too easy for us for the purposes of this essay, okay? But something like this has got a lot of pieces to it. So in the parameters, I've got an explanation of why it's worth looking at this. But in the parameters, I actually kind of talk about what I would look at here. So it makes some basic claims that we're third in the murders in the world, and that these four cities have very tough gun laws. Those are very simple things to look at. Okay. I'd also like to fact check that main claim that the four cities account for enough murders. The murder rate in the U.S. would be near the bottom worldwide if those cities were excluded. In order to do this, how would I look at this? I'd look at the murder rate and populations for those four cities and the murder rate and population for the rest of the U.S. If that doesn't net clear results, I would actually want to go beyond just looking at the raw murder rate, because many murders are not committed with guns, and look at simple gun-based murder rates, okay, and try to see how accurate this is, okay? And that's going to generate a pretty good research paper. It's going to require some pretty detailed explanation of the numbers and what they show and what that tells us about even this very short little thing that gets shared around Facebook. So that's week 8 in a nutshell. That's everything you need to do. The last thing, obviously, submit Essay 3 proposal. I'll get you feedback on those as soon as I can, so you guys are going to submit them by 11 o'clock Monday morning, and I will, if I haven't already done it beforehand, I will attempt to have feedback during the morning on Tuesday, okay? So look for feedback within a day, more or less, from when they're due, okay? We'll start, again, looking at how we're going to go about the research process next week. Don't even worry about that. What I want you to do is to find an article that is going to net enough, that will require enough research and discussion to be productive for a 3 to 4 page essay. Okay? If you've got any questions, don't hesitate to let me know. I am always here to help.